Of course, the real world has intruded upon Cannes this year more than ever before, with all the metal detectors and the searches and the hundreds of cops and the machine guns. But still, despite that, Cannes has never felt quite like the real world. You're in suspension. Cannes has always been that way. It's always a step out of real life. You could say it's in a bubble or something like that, but it's special that way, in a way that really no other film festival is. Sure, yeah, there were 2 or 3 or 4 very, very good films, but by and large, a lot of the big names delivered, let's say, subpar entries for them, and it was pretty consistent all the way through the festival. And so, ironically, the very best things I've seen were not in the main part of the festival. Maybe the best thing I saw was for television, which was the season 2 of Jane Campion's Top of the Lake series. And that was shown because Jane Campion was the first woman to win the Palme d'Or and is a big favorite here in Cannes. And even though it's a TV show, they decided to show it here, both as a 2-hour, first 2 episodes and the whole thing. And it's really fantastic. And then there was something that was on the edge of the festival, which was a virtual reality creation by Alejandro Iñárritu, which is extraordinary. It's 6.5 minutes, total immersion. You put on a helmet, you go in this big airplane hangar, and you are there on the border between Mexico and the United States with a bunch of immigrants trying to get across the border, with helicopters coming down and armed guards coming at you and cars and so on. You're walking on sand, you go in barefoot, and I really felt when I saw this that I was getting a taste of the future. And it's going to be in Los Angeles starting in June, I think for 2 or 3 months. So those were actually the 2 highlights, in addition to a Korean film I saw called The Villainous, which is one of the most amazing action films I've ever seen. It was an out-of-competition special screening. The first 20 minutes of the film, non-stop action in a manner that I've rarely seen. Ultra-violent action done in the most virtuoso way possible. One film I quite liked in the director's fortnight was a film called The Rider, made in South Dakota, about what you would call cowboys, wranglers, rodeo riders. The lead guy gets injured and doesn't look like he's going to be able to continue, but then tries to fight back. It's a very simple, beautifully made film, very real. It's a real slice of life. Very, very well done. So that's going to be around, I think, for people to see. I like the Meyerowitz stories, the Noah Baumbach film, up to a point. Performances, especially Dustin Hoffman, and believe it or not, Adam Sandler, were fantastic. And the other people were good too, but it's a really, really enjoyable film, but it's not a major film, but at least it delivered something. So there were a few things on offer, but as I say, the most exciting experiences I've had in Cannes this year were not part of the main competition.